Hello, my friends, and welcome to today's math lesson for today. Today we are going to be learning the lesson in 7.5, which is titled $1. And our essential question that we're going to be answering today and kind of thinking about through this lesson is how can you show the value of $1 with coins? So we've all kind of seen a dollar bill before. Hopefully many of us have used it before and can identify what a dollar bill looks like, but there's also a way that you can represent $1 with the coins that we've been learning about. So again, quarters, dimes, nickels, and pennies. And so we're going to be learning about how we can use those coins to represent a whole dollar today.
Well, hello! There's a hot air balloon in the woodland today. You can pay to go on a ride in the balloon. Click on the hot air balloon to see how much one ride costs.
All right, so let's take an adventure in our hot air balloon and see how much it costs to ride it.
The sign says a hot air balloon ride costs $1. I wonder what coins you could use to pay for a balloon ride. Let's find out.
Let's count the value of 7 nickels. Each nickel has a value of 5 cents, so you can count by fives to find the total value of the coins. Click the first nickel to count the value of the nickels. 1 nickel has a value of 5 cents. Now, let's continue by fives to find the total value of the nickels. 10 cents, 15 cents, 20 cents, 25 cents, 30 cents, 35 cents. These 7 nickels together have a total value of 35 cents. So how many pennies have this same value as 35 cents? Pennies have a value of 1 cent, so 35 pennies have a value of 35 cents.
So that's something that it's kind of important to know. So again, 7 nickels, which is worth 5 cents each, equal 35 cents. So 35 pennies, because pennies equal 1 cent, so 35 pennies would also equal 35 cents. So 35 pennies is the same value as 7 nickels. I also just want to take this time quickly to try and help you guys out with some confusion between nickels and dimes, because I know that they are very similar, and so a lot of people get them confused with each other. So another way that you can remember the difference between a nickel and a dime, obviously dimes are smaller than nickels in terms of size, but dimes are worth more in terms of value. But another way that you can remember it is if you see a silver coin with a man on it that has kind of like a ponytail for his hair, that you can remember is a nickel. So anytime you see a coin with a man with a ponytail, that would be a nickel. The face on the dime is a man who actually has short hair. So if you're ever seeing a coin that has a face of a man with short hair, kind of like what Mr. Pegalo's hair looks like, then that is a dime. So that's just another way that you can remember the difference between nickels and dimes. If you see a coin with a man with a ponytail, you know to count by fives. If you see coins with a man whose hair is kind of short, then you know to count by 10. So that's just another helpful tip that I can give you to kind of help you know the difference between nickels and dimes.
Let's count pennies by tens until we have 100 pennies. Each row has 10 pennies. So the first row has a value of 10 cents. Now count forward by 10. There are 20 pennies in the first 2 rows. They have a value of 20 cents. There are 30 pennies in the first 3 rows with a value of 30 cents. Let's keep counting until we get to 100 pennies. 40 cents, 50 cents, 60 cents, 70 cents, 80 cents, 90 cents. Now what's the value of 10 rows of 10 pennies?
So when you go from 90 cents and then you make another row of 10 pennies, you would think that that equals 100 cents, right? And that is correct. So we're going to click 100 cents, but there's a different way. We don't call it 100 cents. I think it's going to tell you what we call 100 cents.
That's right. There are 100 pennies and 10 rows of 10 pennies. 100 pennies have a total value of 100 cents. $1 has the same value as 100 cents. When you write $1, you put a dollar sign in front of the dollar amount. Then you put a decimal point right after the number to separate the dollars from the cents. Even though the dollar sign is before the number, we say it after the number of dollars. Instead of saying the words decimal point, we say the word and. The numbers after the decimal point show the number of extra cents. When there are no extra cents, we just say the dollar amount. So we read this amount as $1.
So I kind of like to think of this part as kind of like almost like regrouping. So once you have 100 cents, that becomes $1. Kind of like when you're working with base 10 blocks, right? Like once you're counting, you go 1, 2, 3, 4, and you count each unit, right? But then once you have 10, you make a rod of 10, right? Or a 10 rod. So this is kind of the same thing. Once you get 100 cents, no matter what coins you're using, you can take those coins and those can basically become $1. And then for $1, we write the dollar sign, we write 1, decimal place, and then 2 zeros. And what you're going to notice in future lessons is, well, let's say we have more than just $1, right? Let's say we have $1.25. So the reason why we write $1 like this is because if you do have extra change, then that number is going to go right where these zeros are. So let's say you have $1.30, right? So the way you would write it is the dollar sign, 1, decimal point, and then your 30 cents. So the dollars come first on the left side of the decimal point, and then the cent sign, or all the coins that you have, are going to go on the right side of the decimal point. And again, we'll learn about that a little bit later in future lessons, but just remember that 100 cents equals $1. It's the same value.
Now let's practice with the personal math trainer.
All right, so let's go on in and do it. Okay, so it says Sarah has these coins. Select the group of coins she needs to make $1. So I see that Sarah has a quarter, she has a dime, and she has a nickel. So a quarter is 25 cents. Then we add the dime, which is 10 cents, so that would make it 35 cents. And then we have a nickel, which would make it 40 cents. So if you take 100, which is the same thing as $1, 100 cents, and you subtract 40 cents from it, you should come up with 60 cents, right? So that's how many more coins, and that's how much more Sarah needs to make $1. She has 40 cents, so in order to make $1, she's going to need 60 cents. So that's what we're going to be looking for in this problem. So let's look at the first. Option. Okay, so I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dimes. So if you remember, dimes are 10, so we're going to count by tens 6 times. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and 60. So A is going to be our answer.
Awesome!
Nice job. Okay, so then the next one says, select the group of coins where the circled coins make $1 and the other coins are crossed out. Okay, so this is kind of a little bit difficult to see, but we're going to work on it together. So the first one, again, we're trying to make $1 with the coins that are not X'd out. right? So here I see a quarter, so 25 cents. I see another quarter right here, so that would be 50 cents. Another quarter would be 75 cents. And then I'm going to add my dimes. So 75, 85, 95, 105, and then a nickel would be 5 more, so that's 110, or $1.10. So that would be too much, right? So this would be too much to make $1. So that one's not the right answer. Let's go down here and check this one. So I see another 3 quarters, so I see 25, 50, 75, and then I see 2 dimes, so I'm going to count by tens. 75, 85, 95, 100, right? Because the nickel is 5, so we're going to add 5 to 95 and we get 100. So 100 cents is equal to $1, so our answer is going to be B.
Excellent.
All right, so good job with that. Okay, so now
Try your homework on your own with the personal math trainer. It includes the exercise you saw at the beginning of the lesson.
So now you guys are going to log on to Think Central. If you are ready, you're going to log on to Think Central and complete the assignment for lesson 7.5. And if you need a little bit extra practice, if you want to see some more examples of what this lesson is about that will help you do your homework for 7.5, then be sure to check out the next video right next to this one, and I'll go through some of the Smart Notebook slides to give you more examples and help you better understand this lesson. Okay, everybody, so if you feel comfortable, go ahead and log into Think Central and do the assignment for 7.5, or watch the other video for some more examples and demonstrations on how to work with $1. Okay, everybody, great work today. Thank you.